Chapter 1. Kendra was in a state of both confusion and amazement as she slipped through the narrow opening between two large boulders that rested with majestic fortitude against the base of the mountain after years of environmental strife, and saw the maze of tunnels before her. Over the years, Ari had explored and searched the entrance to Inner Earth and discovered what she called a back door to the tunnels. Through this entrance, the odds of encountering a guard were next to nothing. As she pulled her slender body through the gap between the boulders, Kendra's chocolate-brown eyes grew wide at the sight that awaited her. Small dim lights illuminated the interior just enough to offset the cave's natural darkness. While her eyes shifted from the light that was provided by the brilliance of a full moon while en route took a bit of time, she was eventually able to comfortably see her surroundings. There were shuttle rails that spread out and wove around the corners like tentacles. She followed them with her eyes until they disappeared into the darkness. The sound of Rex's soft groan as he forced his large frame through the tight opening brought her back to the reality of their situation. "Damn!" he wheezed, as he pulled his leg through and struggled to regain his balance. "I wasn't sure I'd fit in that." "It's rather tight," Ari said in an apologetic tone. "I didn't think of that, but I'm glad you fit through. The only other way in that I know of will be the main entrance, and we'd risk running into someone." "Do they patrol it?" he asked. She shook her head. "I don't know the schedule for the coming and going." He gave a slow nod. "So, it's a good thing I fit through." "What now?" Felix asked, as he positioned his body for Olga to tie baby Rexford onto his back with the usual makeshift carrier that was made from a sheet. "Are you sure you want to carry him?" Kendra asked. "I can do it, or Rex can." Felix gave a look of disapproval. "You still need time to recover from your ordeal, and we need Rex free to defend us. Besides, is he or is he not my nephew?" Olga sniffed. "I haven't had a chance to check his genetics, but he sure looks like he came from Rex." "I need no testing. Kendra has accepted him as theirs, so he's family," Felix said with conviction. "I'm the baby caretaker in this family. I'll care for him until I tire. Now let's get going." "The question is, where to go? This is a maze of tunnels. What happens if we alert the wrong one? Do you have any idea where they lead?" Olga mused. She looked at Ari. "Did you ever step outside of this Inner Earth city? Do you know what surrounds it?" Ari shook her head. "They kept a tight lead on us. We weren't allowed outside of the confines of the wall." "For the entire time that you were there?" Kendra asked with surprise. Ari nodded. "That's like prison," Felix gasped. Ari shrugged. "We were kept busy with training, although some were taken out and—" When she didn't continue, Felix pressed her to finish her statement. "And what? Some of them were taken out and what?" "Well," she said with a thoughtful voice that hinted of suspicion and concern, "they didn't come back. I thought they were brought to the surface, but I've never seen them." "Not one?" Kendra asked. "Maybe they were a special place for the children who can't cut it as soldiers, and I just never thought to ask," Ari reasoned. "Although—" "What?" Felix said with exasperation. "Tell us, with you!" "Sometimes they took the babies away and never brought them back," she timidly admitted. Then, taking a deep breath, she added, "I was a self-absorbed young girl. I'm sure there are places they take them for different training. I just never bothered to find out." "In an alien city, they threw babies away like garbage or ate them," Kendra said with bitterness. "Some people were placed into servitude, but most were bred and raised for food. That's the only reason they want to repopulate the earth with humans. For food. They were going to throw that baby away if I hadn't managed to get him to nurse. Of course, I was probably just fattening him up for their dinner table." Olga covered her ears. "I can't hear this." "It's horrible," Ari agreed. "It's reality," Kendra said with a flat tone. Rex pulled her into a protective hug and rested his chin on the top of her head. "I was too drugged to really understand what was happening. Maybe it was a blessing. I'm so sorry that you were exposed to such a world. I just question what mode my son is in right now," Kendra said with a cracked voice. She truly was concerned about Eugene's whereabouts and well-being, but she was also taken aback, as well as overjoyed, by the display of protective affection from her husband. It was a long time coming.